For all my life, I have always said that I was born too late. I would find myself into the rabbit hole of the golden era and many art forms. It was 6th grade when I was obsessed with the great Sinatra, first with his music, which was Fly Me to the Moon to Ocean's 11. I even did that song for my show choir audition, which I got in. But that same year, I was exposed to traditional art, which I was studying pop art, and to one of the greatest who ever done it, which was Mr. Andy Warhol. It wasn't until this image that caught my eye. It was a beautiful piece that not only the colors struck me, but a beauty of a person. It was called the Marilyn Diptychs. It was a dazzling blonde named Marilyn Monroe on the cover photo. She lived during the time Sinatra lived, and I was quickly interested in her.
And you dazzle best way. And now that I have your attention,
I present the iconic Marilyn Monroe and the impact during the golden age of cinema. Norma Jean was born on June 1st, 1926 in Los Angeles, California. A tough childhood, she spent her whole life moving to other orphanage and foster care as her mother, Gladys Pearl Parker, had to give her up. In June 1945, which was the year of the Cold War, Norma Jean was working at a factory, and a photographer who was in the building caught his eye on Miss Jean, even offering her to pose for $5 an hour. Norma Jean later quit her factory life to start her modeling career. Later at 19, she signed to an agency that helped her find a unique appearance, which is the iconic look we all know so well. She was very hardworking, trying to book as many shoots as she could, which strongly showed that she was driven, appearing on 33 magazine covers only half a year into the industry. She was a powerhouse, generating more readers, and just having the first exposure in her career made her look very promising. Even 20th Century Fox would be the first studio to push her into acting and switching over to making films. 20th Century Fox and a studio executive, Ben Leon, was trying to manufacture the perfect actress with Norma Jean. They wanted something that could be the face of the company and be a powerhouse itself. They knew that Norma Jean was a regular name. They needed something fresh and new. Norma had a list of names to choose from, but decided to use her mother's maiden name. And that was the moment when Marilyn Monroe began. During her early acting career, she would begin to star in roles where she would make an appearance with no lines. Her popularity grew as even when making movies, Marilyn Monroe progressed the industry and impacted cinema, not only pushing the limits of art, but herself being a young woman in Hollywood. She was a symbol of longevity in the business, as well with her many talents. In the 1950s, Marilyn Monroe's career was everywhere and being beloved everywhere she went. In February 1954, she was awarded by Photoplay Most Popular Female Star Prize, a true accomplishment from over the years. She would later do more photo shoots and already be submitted as an icon. In January 1955, Miss Monroe funded her own productions, which was Marilyn Monroe Productions. She became the head of it, and with this would make her develop connections with film studios and agents. Hollywood during the Golden Age had a lack of diversity, as it was a very man-driven company, and being a woman to own her own production was a very smart step in the right direction during the time.
oh, I mean, it's your, what are you? Oh, your Majesty.
Good morning, Miss Mariner. That was a charming dance.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just a little routine I have to practice.
With her production and showcasing her brand, she began to release movies under her, which was The Prince and The Showgirl. That was the first and only film that was released under the Marilyn production. Now in March 8, 1960, she was awarded her own star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. She was loved all around, and fans showed that by going to her movies and supporting whatever she wanted to do in life. I have no doubt in my mind that her next step was to direct some film. Sadly, her last film studio was in 1961, titled The Misfits. Marilyn Monroe had a very interesting life, and all of the things she was able to accomplish pushed the boundaries for actresses all around and art itself. Truly an icon that will be forever loved and missed.